my lighting and fix my chat. And figure out what in the world I'm actually in the mood to color in here. There's quite a few that I absolutely adore. But I'm not sure which one I'm in the mood to do. I think that one is a maybe. I do love that one. And we can also go to the other side and do one that I've done in the past. So there are a few that I've already done both sides of it because I like those pictures particularly more. But I think there's one toward the end. I'm kind of leaning between this one. I do love that one. But I think this might be amazing. And I think this might be the one we go with. I'm not locked in yet, but it's definitely a possibility. So this is kind of amazing as well. I think I have my winner. I like this. It's got a great like fantasy Fountain of Youth kind of vibes that I am here for. I think, yeah. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna color her dress this color. Then we're gonna go back over it with the silver, just to give it that shimmer, because it feels like it should be a shimmery material. But it doesn't need to be dark. Don't know why I chose this particular color. It just kind of jumped out at me right off the bat, so. Hello, Daman. This is unfortunately not my drawing. It is Selena Fenech, or Selena Fenech. I color a lot of her work. I have a couple of her coloring books. I wish I was this good of an artist, but I just color. She is one of the best artists ever, though. And she does have her own page on here. If you wanted to go look her up. She does a lot more artwork than this. I think it's only right. When you know the artist, you should always credit them. I wish I could take credit for this kind of drawing. She is quite incredible. But I cannot. Okay, so she does have sleeves going all the way down. This threw me off for a second. I wasn't 100% certain. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, we're going to go back over it with just a simple silver. I realized I missed her backside there. quite literally. We're going to do the same thing. We're not going to go hard, just enough to add that subtle shimmer. Even if you guys can't see it, I can. And then we're going to come in with my silver gel pen for this, and probably her necklace and her headpiece. Because we can. Hello, Ollie. How we doing today? It is an amazing piece of art. The only thing I have done so far is add color. Hello, Max Hernandez. I am doing a coloring book by one of my favorite artists to color, and that is Selena Fenech. Hello, how we doing? I am apparently throwing things. I wish I could claim the art. I really do, but I cannot. It is not my artwork. It is my coloring book. I have another coloring book of her art coming in the next week. So I wish I could draw like this, but I'll let her keep the credit for that one. I actually, when I'm looking for her books, you can get them through Amazon, Walmart, or just Google search it. Her name is Selena Fenech, and she has a lot of coloring books. If you saw any of my holiday lives, those were her artwork as well. And I actually have her, one of her mermaid books coming out. Thank you for that. I am not sponsored. If she did that kind of thing, I would absolutely take being sponsored. I just really like her work. So, there we go. I was gonna make this gold, but I think silver fits a little better. Now, I am gonna go back over this with my silver pencil, and we're gonna add some other colors to it as well. But silver seems like the likely color since I did everything else in it. And we're gonna take this and get the jewel on her. And let's make some jewel on her hair match. There we go. Now I need okay, I said it was going to be colored pencils, but I changed my mind. I like the shimmer and glimmer from these guys today. There we go. Hello, Ashley. You just missed me telling everybody else this is not my artwork. It's just a coloring book. If you like her work, this is the artist's name, Selena Fenech. She has a whole line of coloring books out there. They are amazing. And eventually I will own them all. I don't yet, but I will eventually own all of her coloring books because they are amazing. The art is creative. The subject is creative. And she has incredible, impeccable talent. So that is a random question. Personally, I actually do not like sausage or plain pizza. I am a supreme kind of girl myself. The more I can get on my pizzas, the happier I am. Except for pineapple, not because I have anything against it, but because I am allergic to it. And anchovies, because I'm not so much on the little hairy fish. So those are my two big no-nos. There we go. I come from the land of the white pie and plain, well, I lived in the land of the white pie and the plain pizza and all of that, and just not my thing. I need more flavor than that. I think I'm doing everything on her but her skin tones right now. I will do her skin tones here in just a minute. But I do love using a metallic for the hair colors. It just gives it a much more real feel, in my opinion. There we go. And if you like, hello CJ Plays. If you like coloring lives, you might check on my page. You'll find the lady that my birds are currently watching, actually. And that is Coloring with Lori. She does a lot more, what's the word? She is a lot more detailed with her coloring than I am. I go a picture a day. Hers take longer, but the artwork is incredible. She does turn coloring into a whole art. And for some reason, my birds absolutely adore her voice and coloring, so that's what you may hear a little bit in the background here and there. There we go. We're starting to get some color to her. Went a little bit darker with it this time around. I use the same tone that I usually use. I'm just pressing a little bit harder to give her a little bit more of a tanned look. And it seems to be working quite well. I think you guys can actually see that there is color going down. Have to be a little more careful around her headpiece. There we go. Just got to do her hands. Can't forget those. Plain white hands on an otherwise healthy looking body does not give the vibe that we're looking to get. And I am trying to make her lips kind of match her dress. Bring over just a touch of color up here. There we go. Well, we got one little section done. Got the whole rest of the picture to do, but we got one little section done. And I think we're going to use this pretty turquoise. Let me get these out of my way. When all else fails, throw your pencil. Where did it go? There it is. And I broke the lead, or the color, or whatever it's called on these. That is not my normal pencil sharpener, but it will do. I actually need the longer point today. So, we're just going to sharpen that up. And of course, that particular color pencil, or pencil sharpener, is not giving the effect I need. So, there's my good one. The problem I ran into is the other one will absolutely sharpen, but it does a shorter point, which is really good if you need something like absolutely sharp looking, and that is this guy. And you can see it's just smaller in general, where this one's a little bit nicer. Both serve their purpose, but for today I need that, because what I was moving this out of the way for to begin with, we don't want too much color. We want almost just, as I've said 3 dozen other times before, just a suggestion of color. Excuse me. We don't want it to be too strong, because that's going to look really unrealistic. You just want it to be a suggestion that there is color there. And this is a grayscale coloring book, which I love. It does make it much easier without having to figure out the depth and how to create that depth, because I am one who will sit and try and figure out how to create the depth. But so once again, we're going to be doing knock the camera thing over, apparently. A camera over thing. And that is where we're going to color it over with one color, and then double back with another. And that is just, I don't know if this is a dark enough brown to pull off what I want to do, but we're going to try. And yes, I am putting that hint over the blue just a little bit. So I probably should have put the blue over the brown. It's always easier to figure after you already did the thing, right? And this is where one of my favorite things about colored pencils comes into play. And that's how you can create multiple colors from one pencil just by how hard you press. So this guy is going to need sharpened very soon. That's a bit better, isn't it? If you ever notice that I hold pencils or things very, very strangely, it is a lot because I have some nerve damage, and if you've been around a while, you know I accidentally throw things on a pretty regular basis. So sometimes when my hand's being uncooperative, I'll get a little creative with my hold. Also, holding a little farther back when I don't want to go too hard is very, very helpful. Helps to kind of control the color I'm trying to accomplish. So I do want this to be just a little bit darker because it is up under the water. Same with this here. And I do apologize, I've had to move half the picture out of the frame, and that's just so I can get my hand in there. And now, we're going to sharpen my gray for the same reasons. One of these days, I'm going to have nothing else going, and I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to sharpen every one of my colored pencils ahead of Alive, instead of having to stop and do that every so often. Now this we don't want a crazy lot of. It doesn't need to be dark. It doesn't need to be crazy. We just want to kind of add some toning in to make it look more rocky, I guess. And we're going to pretend that that color is not wobbling in there so that we can just get this done. And if it wants to go flying afterwards, then fine. What, baby? Zelda. Watch your show. So, you guys are about to hear my favorite threat to the birds, which I would never actually do, but it gets their attention. Or not. I think they knew what was about to happen. Babies won't be chicken nuggets. No. I should watch your show. That was a random joke once, and all of the birds will actually say nuggets now, which is kind of ridiculous and hilarious at the same time. You want to be nuggets? Go watch your show. Come on. They want my attention. I was really about to color some greenery blue. I mean, I guess I could get away with it. It is, you know, fantasy, but that was not what we were trying to do. Excuse me for one moment. I've just got to go settle too. What, baby? Your millet's on the table, isn't it? Bribery. It is the easiest way to deal with very, very noisy birds. I give you millet, you behave? Yeah? Is that how that works? You know, I gotta get the other two now. Hello, Colada. You want millet? No. Sorry to run away from my picture for just a moment there, guys. Thankfully, I didn't go far. Okay, that's handled. Totally bribed my birds to be quiet. But favorite trick is full beaks are quiet beaks. Give them a favorite snack and they hush. I love my birds. They are a huge part of my life. They are a large commitment, but they are actually amazing little animals. Spoiled, completely rotten, but pets and grandkids are meant to be spoiled. Now we're going to go back into the game of greens. There we go. I'm kind of debating how to go about the wolf. I don't know if I want him in shades of brown or shades of gray just yet. Which is why I'm putting him off, because I'm not sure what color he's going to be yet. But the great thing is, if I do one and I don't love it, I can always do the other version another day. I know I don't necessarily have to use 3 dozen shades of green, but I enjoy making sure that there is that depth and variety, same as there would be in nature. I did notice I forgot something though when I was doing my stones. I am going to have to either resharpen my gray or go find a different one. Might be a case of go to find a different one because I don't feel like fighting with that. So I guess I could just leave these brown. They're not up under the water, so they're as dark as some of them up under the water would be. Now, I want a nice dark green for this up here. Should have sharpened that. Didn't feel like it. Mistakes were made. I did not realize how quickly I was making my way through this particular picture, but that's okay. We still have trees and wolves to color, don't we? Won't be quite as long as some of them have been of late, but that's okay. My pets are getting restless anyway. Now I wonder, is that supposed to be another wolf, or is that supposed to be... It looks furry, doesn't it? What do you guys think? What is that supposed to be up there? Is that grass? Anybody have a thought? So it looks very fur-like, but at the same time it could also be grass. Or just very strange looking stone. And I guess I could just leave it gray and it could be whatever it wants to be up there. I'm just not 100% certain on that one. Nobody has any thoughts? Or have we all just gone quiet? I hadn't noticed that before, that had that kind of almost furry look. I think I might just leave it as is and let it be something to kind of wonder about. Because I think I might have colored it a little bit. Actually, I'm going to start with this one back here. Ooh, that heater is kicking. I have my oven going behind me and my heater going in front of me, and I am just nice and toasty. And I kind of like how the trees are just a little bit knobby and gnarly. It's kind of neat. Definitely gives that deep in the woods magical feel to it. And I think I am going to go back over this with another shade of brown because this one is so dark. But I feel like it's losing a little bit of depth. That's not too hard to do. Lord knows I have almost as many browns as I do greens, so we can definitely get away with that. Well, that just brought it to life a little bit, didn't it? I don't know how much you guys can see of it, but I guess you can see the difference, can't you? It doesn't have to be perfect. This is more of an accent color than making sure we color the whole thing consistently. I don't think I've ever seen a tree that every single spot on it is the exact same color. I think I would wonder if that was real if I did. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some of these darker areas with just a regular gray. And we're going to come back over it with a silver. And I know it doesn't seem like I'm doing much, because I'm not really. I'm just kind of tracing what she already has on here. But trust the process. It keeps it from losing some of that definition when I go over it with the silver. And I do not know why I always feel the need to brush the page with my pinky. That is just something I have always ended up doing. I'm hoping to give him that soft shimmer. Just a little bit of a surreal look to him. And then Actually, yeah. I know that seems like an odd choice, but I feel like it fits. And somehow or another, I have finished this thing in under 40 minutes, which opens up my afternoon a little bit. I will be back on tomorrow, but I am going to go ahead and stop there for today. And I will talk to you guys next time.